The massive alien ships moved through empty space like giant metal cities. Each one was bigger than anything humans had ever built. Admiral Vexhan stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching the stars ahead. His forearms moved over the control panels as he studied the glowing display in front of him. "Target planet confirmed, Admiral," his tactical officer reported. The alien's voice made a clicking sound that meant he was excited. "Third world from the local star. Perfect conditions for our people." Vexhan's large black eyes focused on the blue and green planet shown on the screen. It looked beautiful. It looked easy to take. His scouts had been watching this system for many months. They had detected radio signals and other signs of life, but nothing that worried him. The beings on this world had not even left their planet, yet. They would be simple to defeat. "Any defensive positions detected?" Vexhan asked. "None, Admiral. A few basic satellites around the planet. Some metal objects in orbit. Nothing that could threaten our fleet." Vexhan felt satisfied. This would be conquest number 48 for the Zephyrian Dominion. His people had taken 47 worlds already. Each time it was the same story. They arrived with overwhelming force. The local beings saw their mighty fleet and surrendered. Sometimes there was a small fight, but it never lasted long. His fleet had 12 massive warships. Each one carried thousands of fighters and enough troops to control a planet. Their plasma weapons could burn entire cities. Their energy shields could stop any attack these primitive beings might try. "Send the standard message to the planet," Vexhan ordered. "Tell them they have 1 day to surrender. After that, we take what we want." Far away on the third planet, Jake Harrison stood on a metal platform surrounded by stars. But these were not real stars. He was inside a huge space station hidden behind Earth's moon. The station was so large it had its own gravity. Jake was the commander of Earth's most advanced warship, the UES Defiance. "Commander, we're getting the alien transmission now," said Pete Collins. He was the communications officer, a young man, with quick fingers and sharp eyes. "They want us to surrender." Jake almost smiled. Almost. He had been waiting for this day for 5 years. Earth had known about the aliens for a long time. Hidden sensors throughout the solar system had been tracking their approach for months. Every human military leader had been preparing for this moment. "What's our status, Lisa?" Jake asked his chief engineer. Lisa Adams looked up from her control panel. She was one of the smartest people Jake had ever met. Her hands moved over the controls like she was playing music. "All systems green, Commander. The quantum drive is ready. Weapons are fully charged. Shield matrix is operating at peak efficiency." The UES Defiance was not like the old ships from Earth's past. It was built using technology that most humans did not even know existed. 30 years ago, human explorers had found wreckage in the asteroid belt. The pieces came from ships that had fought battles in Earth's solar system long before humans learned to make fire. Dr. Frank Mason had spent his whole life studying those pieces. He learned that Earth's solar system was old, very old. Many different alien races had fought wars here over millions of years. Most of them were dead now, but they had left behind their technology, waiting for someone smart enough to use it. Humans were smart enough. The Defiance looked sleek and dangerous. Its hull was made from materials that could stop plasma blasts. Its engines could push the ship faster than anything the aliens had ever seen. Its weapons were based on designs found in the ancient wreckage but improved by human engineering. "Contact Admiral Morrison," Jake ordered. "Tell her the guests have arrived." Admiral Kate Morrison was the commander of Earth's entire defense fleet. She sat in a control room deep underground, surrounded by screens showing every part of the solar system. She had been planning for this invasion since she was a young officer. Now she was ready. "How many ships do they have?" she asked her aide. 12 large warships, Admiral. About 300 smaller vessels. Looks like a standard Dominion invasion force. Morrison nodded. The humans had been studying the Zephyrian Dominion for years. They knew how the aliens fought. They knew their weapons. They knew their tactics. The aliens always used the same plan because it always worked, but it would not work on Earth. "Are our other ships in position?" Morrison asked. "Yes, Admiral. The Vengeance is hiding near Mars. The Thunder is stationed behind Jupiter. The Lightning is ready at the edge of the system. All captains are waiting for your orders." Morrison looked at the main screen. It showed the alien fleet moving toward Earth like a slow-moving storm. The aliens thought they were about to conquer another primitive world. They had no idea what was waiting for them. "Send a message to all ship commanders," Morrison said. "Operation Guardian is now active. Today we show the galaxy that Earth is not defenseless." On the alien flagship, Vexhan received reports from his scout ships. The third planet had one moon. It had several small space stations. It had some basic satellites, nothing that looked dangerous. "Admiral, we're detecting a single ship moving toward us," his sensor officer reported. "It appears to be their most advanced vessel." Vexhan looked at the display. The human ship was tiny compared to his dreadnoughts. It looked fast, but what could one ship do against his entire fleet? "Are they trying to negotiate?" he asked. "Unknown, Admiral. They're not responding to our surrender demand." Vexhan felt amused. Perhaps these beings had more courage than most. It would not help them, but it might make the conquest more interesting. "Let them approach," he decided. "When they get close enough, we will show them the power of the Dominion. One demonstration should be enough to make their planet surrender." He had no idea that he was about to face the most dangerous predator species the galaxy had ever known. He had no idea that every piece of alien technology found in Earth's solar system had been studied, copied, and improved. He had no idea that humans had been preparing for this fight for decades. The alien fleet continued toward Earth, confident in their power. The human ship moved to meet them, ready to defend its home. In a few hours, the galaxy would learn that Earth was not the easy target it appeared to be. The war was about to begin. The space around Earth filled with bright flashes as the alien fleet dropped out of hyperspace. 12 massive ships appeared like metal mountains against the black sky. Each one was bigger than most human cities. Energy crackled around their hulls as their weapons powered up. Admiral Vexhan felt confident as he looked at his fleet through the bridge windows. This was always his favorite moment. The moment when a new world saw the full power of the Zephyrian Dominion. He had done this 47 times before. It never got old. "Open a channel to the planet," he ordered. His voice carried the authority of someone who had never lost a battle. The communication beam reached Earth in seconds. Every radio and television on the planet received the same message. Vexhan's image appeared on screens around the world. He was tall and thin, with 4 arms and large black eyes. His skin was pale blue and covered in small scales. "People of the third planet," Vexhan began. "I am Admiral Vexhan of the Zephyrian Dominion. Your world now belongs to us. You have 24 hours to surrender completely. Prepare your leaders for transfer to our ships. Any resistance will result in the destruction of your cities." On Earth, billions of people watched the message, but they did not panic. They had been preparing for this day. Every human government had secret plans ready. Every military base was already on high alert. This was not a surprise. In the underground command center, Admiral Morrison watched the alien transmission with calm eyes. She had been expecting this exact message. The aliens always said the same thing. They always gave the same time limit. They never changed their tactics because they never needed to. "Send our response," Morrison ordered. A single human ship began moving toward the alien fleet. The UES Defiance was sleek and dark, like a shark swimming through space. It was tiny compared to the alien dreadnoughts, but it moved with deadly purpose. On the bridge of the Defiance, Commander Jake Harrison stood in front of the main screen. His crew was ready. They had trained for this moment for years. Every person on the ship knew exactly what to do. "Open a channel to the alien flagship," Jake ordered. Pete Collins, the communications officer, worked at his station. His fingers danced over the controls. "Channel open, Commander." Jake looked directly into the camera. His voice was steady and cold. "This is Commander Jake Harrison of the United Earth Space Command. You have entered our solar system without permission. You have threatened our world and our people. You have 30 seconds to turn around and leave. If you do not, we will consider your presence an act of war." On the alien flagship, the bridge fell silent. Then several officers began making the clicking sound that meant they were laughing. One small ship was threatening their entire fleet? It was the most amusing thing they had heard in years. "Admiral," the tactical officer said, still clicking with laughter, "should we respond to their joke?" Vexhan studied the human ship on his screen. It was well designed, he had to admit, but it was still just one ship against 12 dreadnoughts and hundreds of smaller vessels. These humans were either very brave or very stupid. No response needed, Vexhan decided. "Charge the forward plasma cannons. We will vaporize their ship as a demonstration. Once their planet sees what happens to those who defy us, they will surrender quickly." The alien weapons began to glow with deadly energy. Plasma cannons the size of buildings turned toward the Defiance. Each cannon could destroy a city block with one shot. The combined firepower aimed at the human ship could crack a moon. "Target locked, Admiral," the weapons officer reported. "Fire." 12 beams of superheated plasma lanced through space toward the Defiance. The energy was so intense it lit up the darkness like artificial suns. Any normal ship would have been turned to vapor in microseconds. But the Defiance was not a normal ship. The plasma beams struck an invisible barrier around the human vessel. The shield matrix flared to life, creating a dome of crackling energy. Instead of destroying the ship, the alien weapons made it stronger. The shield absorbed the plasma and converted it into power for the human ship's systems. Chief Engineer Lisa Adams watched her control panels with satisfaction. "Shields at 120%, Commander. The alien weapons just gave us a full charge." Jake smiled for the first time since the aliens arrived. "Thank you for the free energy," he said over the open channel. "Now let me show you how Earth fights back." The Defiance's main weapon powered up. It was based on technology found in ancient alien wreckage, but improved by human engineering. The particle beam that emerged from the ship's bow was invisible until it hit its target. The beam struck the lead alien dreadnought directly in the center. The ship's shields flickered and died instantly. The beam cut through the hull like a knife through paper. Metal that had been designed to survive the heat of stars began to melt and twist. Explosions erupted along the length of the alien ship. Secondary blasts tore through decks and compartments. The massive vessel, which had destroyed the defenses of 47 worlds, began to break apart. On the bridge of his flagship, Admiral Vexhan watched in horror as his most powerful dreadnought died. Pieces of burning metal scattered through space. Emergency signals flooded the communication channels as escape pods launched from the dying ship. "How is this possible?" he whispered. The human ship moved with impossible speed and grace. It should have been torn apart by the forces of its own acceleration. No known species could survive the G-forces required for such maneuvers. But the Defiance danced through space like it weighed nothing. Captain Sam Rodriguez, the ship's pilot, pushed the engines to their limits. The inertial dampeners kept the crew safe from forces that would have killed any other species. Navigator Amy Clark calculated their next position faster than the alien computers could track them. "All weapons, continuous fire," Jake ordered. The Defiance's particle beam swept across the alien formation like a sword of light. 2 more dreadnoughts exploded in brilliant flashes. Smaller alien ships tried to scatter, but the human weapon found them wherever they ran. Panic spread through the alien fleet. They had never seen weapons like this. They had never faced shields that could absorb their most powerful attacks. They had never encountered a species that could fight like this. "All ships evasive maneuvers," Vexhan ordered. His voice shook, with fear for the first time in his military career. "Scatter formation. Send a message to High Command. Tell them we have encountered an unknown threat." But when his communications officer tried to send the message, nothing happened. Earth's jamming technology blocked every transmission. The aliens were trapped in the solar system with no way to call for help. The UES Defiance continued its deadly dance through space, hunting the ships that had come to conquer Earth. The aliens were learning a terrible lesson about the species. They had underestimated. The hunters had become the hunted. The war had begun and Earth was winning. The explosion of the first alien dreadnought lit up space like a new star. Pieces of burning metal scattered in all directions. Admiral Vexhan watched his most powerful warship die and felt something he had never experienced before. Fear. This cannot be happening, he said to himself. His forearms shook as he gripped the command chair. One ship cannot destroy our fleet. It is impossible. But the impossible was happening right in front of his eyes. The small human vessel moved through space like a living thing. It twisted and turned in ways that should have killed everyone inside. No species in the galaxy could survive such forces, yet somehow the humans were not only surviving, but fighting with deadly skill. Captain Sam Rodriguez pushed the Defiance through another impossible turn. The ship spun around a dying alien vessel and came up behind two more dreadnoughts. His hands moved over the controls with perfect precision. He had been flying for 20 years, but this ship made him feel like he could dance with the stars. "How are the inertial dampeners holding up?" Commander Jake Harrison asked. "Perfect, sir," Sam replied. "This alien technology is amazing. We could do a loop around the sun and not feel a thing." Jake nodded. The inertial dampeners were one of humanity's greatest discoveries. They had found the technology in a wrecked ship near Jupiter 15 years ago. It took human scientists 8 years to understand how it worked. Now it let them fly like no other species could. Navigator Amy Clark was working at her station with incredible speed. Her fingers moved over the controls faster than the human eye could follow. She calculated jump coordinates and attack patterns in seconds. The alien computers were advanced, but they could not keep up with human thinking. "Next target acquired," Amy reported. "2 dreadnoughts trying to flank us from the right." "I see them," Jake said. "Lisa, how are our weapons?" "Chief," Engineer Lisa Adams smiled as she watched her displays. The ship's particle beam was charging faster than ever before. The alien plasma attacks had given them more power than they knew what to do with. "Weapons at full power and ready to fire," she reported. "These aliens just made us stronger by attacking us." Jake felt a cold satisfaction. This was exactly what Earth scientists had hoped would happen. The shield technology they had reverse-engineered was designed to absorb energy attacks. The more the aliens shot at them, the more powerful the Defiance became. "Fire at will," Jake ordered. The particle beam lanced out again, cutting through. The alien formation like a sword through cloth. The 2 flanking dreadnoughts exploded within seconds of each other. Their shields meant nothing against human weapons. Their armor melted like ice in summer. On his flagship, Admiral Vexhan realized the horrible truth. These were not primitive beings. The electromagnetic signals his scouts had detected were fake. The humans had been hiding their real technology. They had been waiting for someone to attack them. "How long have they been watching us?" he whispered. His tactical officer was studying the human ship with growing horror. "Admiral, our sensors are detecting energy signatures we have never seen before. This vessel uses technology that should not exist." "What do you mean?" "The materials in their hull, sir. The power readings from their engines. The design of their weapons. Some of this technology is older than our civilization. Much older." Vexhan felt his blood turn cold. "How old?" "Millions of years, Admiral. This ship is built using technology from the ancient wars." The ancient wars. Every species in the galaxy knew the stories. Long ago, before any current civilization existed, great battles had been fought throughout the stars. Entire species had been wiped out. Whole star systems had been destroyed. Most people thought the stories were just legends, but they were real. And somehow the humans had found the technology left behind by those ancient warriors. Dr. Frank Mason sat in his laboratory deep beneath Earth's surface. He was watching the battle through the ship's cameras. At 70 years old, he had spent his entire adult life studying alien artifacts found in the solar system. Now he was seeing his work put to the test. "Beautiful," he whispered as he watched the Defiance destroy another alien ship. "Absolutely beautiful." His assistant, a young woman named Carol Stone, looked confused. "Dr. Mason, how can destruction be beautiful?" Frank turned to her with eyes full of knowledge. "Because, my dear, this is not just destruction. This is justice. Do you know how many species have tried to invade this solar system over the past 1,000,000 years? Carol shook her head. 43 different civilizations, Frank continued. All of them thought Earth would be easy to conquer. All of them left their wrecked ships floating in our asteroid belt. We learned from every single one of them. He pointed to a display showing the battle. That shield technology came from the Corvani Empire, destroyed here 50,000 years ago. The particle beam is based on Threlix weapons from 200,000 years ago. The inertial dampeners are from the Vextai, who attacked us 800,000 years ago. Carol's eyes widened. You mean we've been building this ship for thousands of years? Not building, Frank corrected. Learning, studying, preparing. Every alien species that tried to conquer Earth taught us something new. Now we are the students who have become the teachers. Back in space, the alien fleet was falling apart. Half of their dreadnoughts were destroyed. The survivors were trying to retreat, but they found their hyperspace engines would not work. Earth's jamming technology made escape impossible. Commander Harrison opened a channel to all the alien ships. This is Commander Jake Harrison of Earth. You came here thinking you would conquer a primitive world. You were wrong. Earth is not primitive. We are the inheritors of 1,000,000 years of warfare. We are the students of every species that has ever tried to take our home. His voice grew colder. You wanted to see our technology? You wanted to test our defenses? Now you know the truth. Earth is not a target. Earth is a fortress, and we are its guardians. Admiral Vexhan listened to the human's words with growing despair. His mighty fleet, which had conquered 47 worlds, was being destroyed by a single ship. But it was not really one ship, he realized. It was the accumulated knowledge and technology of countless dead civilizations, all wielded by a species that had learned from every defeat and every victory. Send surrender signals to all ships, he ordered. Tell them to stop fighting. We cannot win this battle. But even as he gave the order, Vexhan knew it was too late. The humans were not just defending their world. They were sending a message to the galaxy. Earth was no longer hiding. The age of human expansion was about to begin. The UES Defiance continued its deadly work, hunting down the remaining alien ships. Each explosion was a statement. Each destroyed vessel was a warning to anyone who might threaten Earth in the future. Humanity had revealed its true nature. They were not the victims they appeared to be. They were the apex predators of the galaxy, and they were ready to claim their place among the stars. The alien fleet was dying slowly in the cold darkness of space. 8 of the 12 massive dreadnoughts were now floating pieces of twisted metal. The remaining 4 ships tried desperately to escape, but their engines would not start. Earth's jamming technology held them trapped like flies in a web. Admiral Vexhan stood on his damaged bridge and watched his empire crumble. Emergency lights flashed red all around him. The air smelled of burned electronics and fear. His officers worked frantically at their stations, but nothing they did seemed to help. Hyperspace engines still offline, Admiral, his chief engineer reported. The alien's voice shook with panic. The humans have some kind of field around the entire system. We cannot jump to safety. What about conventional engines? Vexhan asked. Working, but barely. We have lost 60% power. It would take us months to reach the edge of the system at this speed. Months. Vexhan knew they did not have months. The human ship was still out there, hunting them like a shark hunting wounded fish. It would find them long before they could escape. The UES Defiance moved through the wreckage of the alien fleet with deadly purpose. Commander Jake Harrison stood on the bridge, watching his tactical display. Red dots showed the positions of the surviving alien ships. Each dot represented thousands of enemy soldiers who had come to conquer his world. Contact from Admiral Morrison, Communications Officer Pete Collins reported. Jake touched a button on his command chair. Admiral Morrison's face appeared on the main screen. She was calling from the underground command center on Earth. Excellent work, Commander, Morrison said. But this is only the beginning. We need to capture some of their ships intact. Intelligence wants to study their technology. Understood. Admiral, what about the survivors? Take prisoners if possible. Kill them if necessary. But do not let any of them escape to warn their home worlds. Jake nodded. This was the plan they had discussed many times. No alien could be allowed to leave the solar system alive unless Earth chose to let them go. The galaxy could not learn about humanity's true strength until the right moment. "Pete, open a channel to all surviving alien ships," Jake ordered. "Channel open, sir." Jake's voice echoed through space, reaching every alien vessel. "This is Commander Harrison. Your fleet is destroyed. Your engines do not work. You cannot escape. You have one choice left. Surrender now, or die slowly in the vacuum of space." On the alien flagship, Vexhan listened to the human's offer. He had never surrendered in his entire military career. The Zephyrian Dominion did not teach its officers how to give up. But he was learning that some lessons came whether you wanted them or not. "Admiral," his tactical officer said quietly, "long-range sensors are detecting more human ships approaching." "More ships? How many?" "At least 6, sir. They are coming from different directions. Mars, Jupiter, the asteroid belt. It appears we are surrounded." Vexhan closed his large black eyes. 6 more ships. The humans had been hiding an entire fleet throughout their solar system. This had not been a lucky victory by one advanced vessel. This had been a carefully planned trap. Captain Ben Murphy piloted the UES Vengeance out from behind Mars. His ship was similar to the Defiance, but built for different purposes. Where the Defiance was designed for speed and precision attacks, the Vengeance was meant for heavy combat. Its weapons could crack asteroids. "Target the alien ship trying to hide behind that moon," Murphy ordered his weapons officer. "Chief Weapons." Officer Dana Bell smiled as she aimed the ship's main guns. "Target locked, Captain. Ready to fire." Fire. The Vengeance's particle cannons sent twin beams of destruction across space. The alien ship trying to hide behind Earth's moon exploded in a brilliant flash. Its pieces joined the growing field of debris that surrounded the planet. From Jupiter came the UES Thunder, commanded by Captain Lisa Carter. Her ship specialized in electronic warfare. While the other human vessels destroyed alien ships, the Thunder made sure no messages could leave the solar system. "All alien communications are blocked, Captain," her electronics officer reported. "They cannot contact their home worlds." "Good," Carter replied. "Keep it that way. Earth is not ready to reveal itself to the galaxy yet." The remaining alien ships found themselves being hunted from all directions. Human vessels appeared from hiding places throughout the solar system. Each ship was perfectly designed for its role. Each crew had trained for this moment for years. Lieutenant Casey Wright sat at her sensor station aboard the Defiance. Her job was to track every alien ship and make sure none escaped. Her displays showed the tactical situation clearly. The aliens were trapped and helpless. "Commander, I'm detecting escape pods launching from the alien ships," she reported. Jake studied his own displays. Dozens of small pods were fleeing from the dying alien vessels. Each pod contained a few alien survivors trying to escape. "Target the escape pods," he ordered. "Sir?" Pete Collins looked surprised. "They're not armed. They're just trying to survive." Jake's expression remained cold. "They came here to conquer our world, to enslave our people, to destroy our civilization. I will not let them return home to plan another attack." The Defiance's smaller weapons turned toward the fleeing escape pods. Laser fire lanced through space, destroying the small vessels one by one. There would be no survivors to carry tales back to the Zephyrian Dominion. But Jake was not finished. He had bigger plans. "Pete, open a channel to the alien flagship," he ordered. When the channel opened, Jake could see Admiral Vexhan on his damaged bridge. The alien leader looked defeated and afraid. "Admiral Vexhan," Jake said, "you have a choice to make. You can die here with your fleet, or you can live to serve a new purpose." "What purpose?" Vexhan asked. "You will return to your home worlds. You will tell your leaders what happened here. You will warn them that Earth is no longer hiding. But you will also tell them something else." Jake's smile was cold and dangerous. "You will tell them that humanity is coming. We have spent 1,000,000 years learning from every species that tried to conquer us. Now we are ready to expand beyond our solar system. The galaxy has a new power to deal with." Vexhan felt terror run through his body. "You mean to conquer other worlds?" We mean to take our place among the stars, Jake corrected. Some species will join us willingly, others will resist, but all will learn that Earth is no longer content to wait for visitors. The human ships began moving toward the surviving alien vessels. But they were not moving to destroy them, they were moving to capture them. Marine Captain Rick Stone led boarding parties from ship to ship, taking prisoners and seizing alien technology. The mighty Zephyrian fleet that had conquered 47 worlds was now completely helpless. Their weapons were destroyed. Their engines were dead. Their crews were captured or killed. Admiral Vexhan realized with growing horror that he was about to become humanity's messenger. He would be allowed to live, but only to carry Earth's warning to the galaxy. The hunters had indeed become the hunted, and somewhere in the darkness of space, more human ships were already preparing for humanity's first steps beyond the solar system. 3 days after the battle, Admiral Vexhan sat in a small room aboard the UES Defiance. His hands were not tied, but he knew he was a prisoner. The room was simple but comfortable. The humans had even provided food that his species could eat. But comfort could not hide the fact that his entire fleet was destroyed. Commander Jake Harrison entered the room and sat across from the alien admiral. Between them was a metal table with a holographic display built into its surface. Jake's blue eyes studied Vexhan with the cold attention of a predator examining its prey. "You understand why you are still alive?" Jake asked. Vexhan nodded slowly. His forearms rested on the table. "I am to be your messenger." "Correct. You will return to your home worlds and tell them what happened here. But first, you need to understand what really happened." Jake touched the table's surface. The holographic display came to life, showing images of Earth's solar system. But this was not the primitive system the aliens had expected to conquer. This was something far more dangerous. "Your scouts told you Earth was defenseless," Jake continued. "They were wrong. Earth has never been defenseless. We have just been very good at hiding our strength." The display showed hidden bases throughout the solar system. Military stations disguised as mining operations, weapons platforms hidden in asteroid fields, shipyards concealed behind the moons of Jupiter and Saturn. For the past 50 years, humanity has been building the largest military force in this region of the galaxy, Jake explained. "We have 147 warships like the Defiance. Each one is built using technology salvaged from the wrecks of species that tried to conquer us over the past million years." Vexhan's large black eyes widened in shock. 147 ships? His invasion fleet had only 12 dreadnoughts, and humans had destroyed 8 of them with just one vessel. "But we are not content to simply defend our world anymore," Jake continued. "Humanity is ready to expand beyond this solar system. We are ready to take our place as a galactic power." The display changed, showing star maps of nearby systems. Red markers indicated Zephyrian worlds. Blue markers showed other alien civilizations. Green markers indicated systems that humanity planned to explore. "Some species will choose to work with us," Jake said. "They will benefit from human technology and protection. Others will choose to resist. They will learn what your fleet learned." Dr. Ellen Ross entered the room carrying a datapad. She was Earth's leading expert on alien biology and had spent the past 3 days studying the captured Zephyrian prisoners. Her findings would help humanity understand their new enemies better. "Commander, the biological analysis is complete," she reported. "The Zephyrians are physically weaker than humans, but they have excellent reflexes and can survive in harsh environments. Their technology is advanced but limited. They rely too heavily on energy weapons and have poor defense against particle beams." Jake nodded. This information would be useful when humanity encountered more Zephyrian forces in the future, and there would be more encounters. The galaxy was about to become a much more dangerous place. "Dr. Ross, please explain to our guest how we learned to fight so well." Ellen sat down and activated another section of the holographic display. It showed the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, but not as most people knew it. This display revealed the truth about humanity's solar system. "Admiral Vexhan, your species believes in conquest through superior numbers and firepower," she began. "But you have never learned the most important lesson of warfare. You have never learned to adapt." The display zoomed in on specific asteroids. Each one contained the wreckage of ancient starships. Some were millions of years old. Others were only thousands of years old. All had been defeated in Earth's solar system. 43 different species have tried to invade our solar system. Over the past million years, Ellen continued. Each one thought they were superior to the primitive beings living on the third planet. Each one was wrong. She pointed to different wrecks on the display. The Corvani Empire attacked us 50,000 years ago. They had energy shields that could stop any weapon known at that time. We learned how their shields worked and built better ones. The display shifted to another wreck. The Threlix Confederation invaded 200,000 years ago. They had particle weapons that could destroy entire fleets. We studied their technology and improved it. Another wreck appeared. The Vextai tried to conquer us 800,000 years ago. They had engines that could move ships faster than light itself. We learned their secrets and built even faster ships. Vexhan listened with growing horror. His species had always believed they were the first to discover this system. They had no idea they were just the latest in a long line of failed conquerors. Every species that tried to destroy us made us stronger, Ellen concluded. We are not just humans anymore. We are the inheritors of 1,000,000 years of warfare. We are the students who learn from every teacher, willing or not. Commander Harrison stood up and walked to the room's window. Outside, the wreckage of the Zephyrian fleet drifted slowly through space. Soon those ships would join the ancient graveyard in the asteroid belt. Your people will send more fleets, Jake said without turning around. They will want revenge for what happened here. But they will fail, just like you failed, and each failure will make us stronger. He turned back to face Vexhan. But there is another way. Your people can choose to negotiate instead of fight. They can choose to trade instead of conquer. They can choose to be our allies instead of our enemies. And if they refuse? Vexhan asked. Jake's smile was cold. Then they will learn what the other 43 species learned. Earth does not forgive those who threaten our home. Admiral Kate Morrison's voice came through the ship's communication system. Commander Harrison, please report to the bridge. We have received new orders from Earth Command. Jake nodded to Dr. Ross and left the room. Vexhan was alone with his thoughts and the terrible knowledge he now carried. In a few days he would be released in a small ship and allowed to return to Zephyrian space. But he would not be returning as a victorious admiral. He would be returning as the bearer of the most frightening news his people had ever heard. The bridge of the Defiance, Admiral Morrison's image filled the main screen. She was calling from Earth's command center with new orders that would change the galaxy forever. Commander, Earth Command has decided to begin Phase 2 of Operation Guardian, she announced. Humanity is no longer hiding. We are going to make contact with other species in this region of space. Some will be offered friendship and trade. Others will be offered the choice between surrender and destruction. Jake felt a thrill of excitement. This was the moment humanity had been preparing. For since they first found alien technology in their solar system, Earth was ready to claim its place among the stars. The age of human expansion begins now, Morrison continued, and the galaxy will never be the same. In the small room below, Admiral Vexhan stared at the holographic display and realized that he had witnessed the birth of a new galactic empire, an empire built on the wreckage of every species that had ever underestimated the third planet from a small yellow star. Humanity was no longer hiding. The hunters were ready to hunt,